If you've watched my videos on the Italian audiobooks that I've been listening to, you'll know that I've been having revelations about particular words, specifically in the way they're stressed. Why is that? Well, when I started learning Italian, I believed that so-called rule, that myth, that words are usually pronounced with stress on the penultimate syllable. What a fool I was. Linea, incubo, sagoma, pozzanghera, sillabe, zucchero, numero, magica, principi, nucleo, carica, ipotetico, fisico, energetico. What percentage of difference does it have to be for usual to be an inaccurate description? The thing is, that's as good as it gets. Yes, when there's an accent on a word, that indicates stress. But it's nothing like Spanish, where it has accents all over the place where stress is different. No, Italian lets you assume penultimate when we all know that saying, assume makes an ass out of you and me. It may not be as seemingly random as English, but these things are not all that obvious. Does that mean you have to look up the stress of every individual word as you come across it? Well, that's unlikely to help, because it's the same as trying to learn lists of words. It's probably not going to stick. The benefit of having had the light bulb moment during listening to an audiobook is that the words are already well known to me, so I'm less likely to forget. But there are some things that can help. Verbs do have different rules, which I'm not going to try to explain here. You can look those up, but remember to note the exceptions. Cue evil laugh. Other than that, here are some things that might help. Notice when you have a compound word. I'm using that in a very general sense. So, if it's a verb with a pronoun attached, or a word with a suffix, or two nouns stuck together, or whatever other combinations there may be, the stress may not be where you think it is, so you might want to check it. Let's look at some examples. If we take the infinitive of the pronominal verb andarsene, it's not stressed on the pronoun section of the verb, but as it is on the second to last syllable of the basic verb, andare. Same with smetterla. Bella is stressed on the penultimate syllable, but bellissima is stressed on the first I. Same with carissima. So the suffix defines the stress. Notice words with suffixes. Learn where the stress is and extrapolate. Malessere, a combination of male and essere, takes the stress of essere. Same with benessere. There are patterns, but they may not always be obvious. Also, think about how the English equivalent word is pronounced. The Italian might follow that pattern because they may both come from the same distant root. If this makes you think it might be different from the penultimate syllable, look it up. For example, in that initial list we have energetico, energetic. It follows the same pattern, as does hypothetical and ipotetico, but they also have the same ending. So you have two clues there. But where do you check the stress? Well, Google Translate does have stress marked and it does read things out to you, but not everything is verified. There are various other services that will read a word out to you. However, I have found discrepancies with these. There are actual Italian dictionaries online. I mean ones from Italian sources, but they don't all have pronunciation, and the ones I looked at are so flooded with ads that they're unpleasant to use, unless you want to pay. So honestly, Google Translate is it for me, with an occasional side helping of reverso context. And listen to lots of content. That's the best way to find the correct pronunciation of words. Listen some more, and then listen again. You'll still get things wrong, but not as many. That has to be a plus. Of course, you could get an old world dictionary, you know, one of those old doorstops made of paper.